Welcome to Golf and the Good Life, your guide to golf travel across the pond. I'm DJ Jones, joined as always by my good friend Connor Evers, and today we are returning to our Legendary Links series for a conversation with Colin Sinclair, Club Secretary at Royal St. George's Golf Club. Colin shared his insight on the history of Royal St. George's, plus the story of a unique new event coming to the area, and why the Channel Coast of England deserves more attention from the traveling golfer. So without further ado, here's our conversation with Colin Sinclair. Well, Colin, first off, thanks for being with us this morning. Obviously, the golf season is right around the corner. You were just mentioning that you got a full visitor sheet already today. Your time is in short supply these days, so thanks for investing some of it here with us.
No, not at all, Daniel. Connor, great to see you both. And just look forward to spreading the good word about Royal St. George's.
Well, we are really excited to do the same, but not only for Royal St. George's, but kind of the Channel Coast as a whole. But, let's start at the beginning. For those who may not know you, tell us a little about yourself and how you wound up at one of the most storied clubs in England.
Well, everything I do is luck, so it's got nothing to do with skill, just right place, right time. So I was born in Inverness, but kind of grew up outside Glasgow, Helensburgh Golf Club. That's where I learned to play my golf, and I was pretty decent, but not of a great standard to play for a living. But I decided to do law at university in Dundee, and after that, I wanted to get involved in the golf industry, and I joined the PGA. Blairgowrie Golf Club, beautiful 2 grade 18s with a Rosemount and the Lansdowne, and the most beautiful 9-hole course. I got incredible training. David Scott at Dumbarnie, he was trained under Gordon Kinnock, and Gordon, incredible mentor just within the golf industry. Pretty much everything I learned was from Gordon at Blairgowrie, and then I moved to Walton Heath to Ken McPherson, where I was his senior assistant for a few years. And between the two of them, I was just blessed that I got two incredible individuals that taught me what the golf industry was about. And then I got very lucky. I got the head pros position at Carnoustie in '99, literally the year of the Open that Paul won and Jean maybe should have won, but and Justin Leonard may say he should have won. So the playoff that Paul hit that incredible 4-iron into 2 feet and the noise, just the most incredible start to my head pro career. But yeah, I was at Carnoustie for 20 years and worked at 3 Opens, Women's Open, 2 Seniors Open, Women's Amateur, Gents Amateur. We were very lucky at Carnoustie. And then just out the blue in the end of 2018, the chief executive's role at Nairn Golf Club came up. And I, being born in Inverness, my dad was a member at Nairn, and my wife and I were country members, out of town members, and I got lucky. Again, a great club, a busy club, busy private members club, and obviously, a good number of outside unaccompanied guests. And then that was 2019, then COVID hit. So everybody has that experience of COVID. So you were kind of in the deep end, but it was the opportunity at Nairn just felt right at the time. And then out of the blue, a recruitment company had approached me for Royal St. George's. And as I said right at the beginning, I got very, very lucky. And that's how I ended up going as far from the far north to as far south as you can. But I knew Royal St. George's through Walton Heath. My landlord was a member here. And I used to come down with him. I used to be a chauffeur, effectively, so he could have a nice lunch, which I was okay with. So I got to play this incredible golf course. So I knew it. I knew what the club was about. And I actually came down in April of 22 with some friends, like a secret shopper, when the kind of process was going. And I just kind of noticed some things that I thought I could improve on. And it's like anything else when you go into a position that you want to leave it in a better position than you found it. And I just felt that I could offer something to the club. But it's the most incredible golf club. I mean, I've enjoyed everywhere I've worked, but this by far is the most enjoyable.
And your point there about the club, the club is just steeped in history. Kind of talk a little bit about past history of the club and kind of where it's at in the game of golf too.
Yeah, it was established in 1887, which is exactly the same year that Nairn was established, bizarrely. But the club was set up as a London club. So it was set up by, I do like to say this, by a Scotsman, being a Scotsman working at the most English club in England. But Laidlaw Purvis, who was a member of Royal Wimbledon, him and his friends wanted golf in the winter time down by the links, and he obviously spotted this land. And this is all reclaimed land from the sea, from the English Channel. So it's not like it's been here for 1,000 years. Back in the kind of 1600s, this was in the middle of the English Channel. So he noticed it from going up the church spire and the town and the village, and noticed this bit of land, and then created this incredible layout. But it was primarily for members in London to come down and play their golf. And to this day, 65% of our members live in London. So that tradition is still kept. A number of our members are members of other clubs. So this is not their only club. And then obviously through the annals of time that it's had, I said, 15 Open Championships and, great winners, some new winners, Ben Curtis being one. You throw in the mix that as a club, it's all about golf. Our members have a very high golfing IQ. They absolutely love their golf. But it's not just about the course. It's about the experience of coming down the driveway, because a lot of them don't live here. They'll stay in our dormitory accommodation. They're here for 2 or 3 days, but it's the clubhouse experience. It's about, this camaraderie that you as a member could come down on your own and just go and sit in the smoking room or the dining room, and you'll meet up with another member, have lunch, go play golf. It's not, these little cliques that you get at golf clubs. All golf clubs have them, but not here, because standardly our members are they're just wanting to play golf with like-minded people, and that's what's very impressive, that their love for the game. And they're I'm not saying they're all amazing golfers, but there's a lot of very good golfers. It's impressive in every which way, whether it's the course, whether it's the clubhouse, for the actual members, and not only how they interact with other members, is how they care for the staff. It's incredible how they care for the staff. I've never known anything like it. They're always making sure that the team are absolutely at the front of their mind, which is which you would expect, but it doesn't always happen at golf clubs, and it's very prevalent here that the members really do look after us, which we also greatly appreciate.
Well, that's really great. Obviously, you would hope that behind every great club, there's an equally great membership, and it sounds like that's the case at Royal St. George's without a doubt. You talked about the experience, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the experience from a visitor standpoint here in a minute. But on the course topic, every great course has those moments, has those particular holes that kind of stand out or what have you. If you were out on the course, what are some of your favorite spots that the visitor should be looking for as they're headed your way?
There's so many good holes. What's so clever about the design? Standardly, links golf, which is linked land. Why does the name links come about? It's linking the sea to the arable land, and it's normally straight out, straight back. Now, Nairn was very much straight out, straight back. Carnoustie, not so much. But Carnoustie is just the most wonderful layout, and I never ever thought I would say there is a better layout to Carnoustie. There is. This is a better layout. Not better condition right now. The condition of Carnoustie is off the charts, how good it is. And that's been for many, many years, the investment that they put into the courses at Carnoustie. But, condition-wise, in my opinion, nothing touches it just now. And that's what we're working towards. But to have a course that you can literally have 4 different directions of wind on your front 9, because no more than 2 holes go in the same direction, is really clever. Like the first, for example, I think it's so underrated. You've got to hit the fairway, because if you don't hit the fairway, you're not going to be able to hit it on the green. It's simple as that. But no one talks about the first. It's a really clever design of a hole. But 4 is, it's what I love about 4 is, yes, you've got the imposing bunker on your right hand side, which for the good player, they're just hitting it over. But the fairway and the green is just a continuation of the fairway, just incredible movement and slope. So you might have a good tee shot, you might have a good second shot, approach shot, but then you're working on this green. There's so much movement in it, It's just testing you on every possible shot. Eight's a wonderful hole, but eight never used to be a par four. Eight used to be a par three, because there used to be 1-3 on the front nine and 3 on the back. So to even it out, 11 became a par three and 8 became a par four. But 8 is one of these holes that, for me, you've just got to hit the perfect tee shot and get as far down as you can before you run out or run off the fairway to then approach a very long, fun green. Just so much movement in it. It just, again, it's one of these. It's a bit like Carnoustie, whereby you've just got to hit the perfect shot. And we used to say at Carnoustie that we're going to punch you in the face because that's as good as your day's going to get, because it is just a tough course. And here, some of our holes, not all of them, you've really just got to hit just the perfect shot. And then it leads into 9's much fun, funky green. You can never design a green like that nowadays. 10 with infinity green, trying to hit the 10 green. Whether it's a long iron, short iron, it is a tough ass. And then you get that it's always that spelling around. I mean, Carnoustie was the last 4 holes at Carnoustie, but at St George's, it's like the 13th, the 14th, the 15th. If you can get yourself through these holes and level even one over, that's good playing. So I just love the routing. I love the fact that you've not got this kind of into the wind and the way out, or into the wind and the way back. I just love the fact it just plays with your mind, and just 18 stunning holes.
A lot of times when you think of links golf, you were just talking earlier about how the land itself is sort of a reclaimed land from the sea. So it in a way doesn't have the big dramatic dunes and what have you that, say, maybe Ireland and parts of Scotland have, but there's like a subtlety to it that demands this precision that you're talking about. And our founder, Sam Baker, tells a story where the first time he ever played Royal St. George's, his caddy gave him a line off of a tee using a cloud because there was nothing else really to point the way. So he says, you see that cloud that looks like a camel, just hit it at that.
Yeah, and it's the sheer size of property, Daniel. So our fairways, you can cut grass. We have 55 acres. The estate is 550 acres. You can lose another golf course within the golf course. Yeah, I've never known a course like that. Where, for example, just on the fourth there, to the left of you, you've got, obviously you would have the back to your left, you've got the 8th green, but all that space out to the 6th, you could build 4 holes in there. So it is this sheer scale of the property which kind of takes your breath away. And again, once you're going to get up into the 5th tee, you've got these incredible views of the English Channel and across the Ramsgate. Not everybody's into pretty views, but it's picturesque. The course has everything that you want it to have, more so than any course I've ever known.
Yeah, I remember when so I came over, I think it was November 2023, if I remember. We played together, Colin. I remember we were walking down the 8th, and I'm like, Colin, this is spectacular. And you were like, hey, it's not there yet. I couldn't believe it when you had that opinion. Can you shed some more light on that, if you wouldn't mind?
It's where you're trained. It's where you've been brought up. Carnoustie, which obviously I refer to a lot to my team, that probably fed up. Saying that, they're all going up there now. They're all going up and playing it and seeing it, and they get it. I mean, it's incredible what the condition is, and we're nowhere near it. We're 50% to go. We're better than we were, but that to me is the benchmark. And it's, in a way, it's not necessarily a fair comparison because we're open all year round, and the weather conditions are different here. But Carnoustie have protective measures in the winter, plastic mats everywhere. Don't play to some of the, I think it's they rest 6 greens in the winter. We don't do that. We just play normal golf all year round. So it's not a kind of fair comparison. But in Carnoustie, getting 50,000 rounds, and we're getting 24,500 rounds. So we don't get a huge amount of play, but it's more the turf refinement and just when you come back, you'll see the changes that Greg, our new superintendent, who's doing a phenomenal job. Like the runoffs. So you get this option when your ball just pops off the back of a green that you get to chip it, pitch it, putt it. When before you were in knee-high rough and you're hacking away and you're just off the green, a little unfair. So these are just subtle little changes, but the course has done that over the annals of time. But it's just really for myself and our chairman of the Greens and our committee is just to say that, we want to be at a certain, we want to be world class. It's as simple as that. We want to be the finest private members golf club in the world. And that's what we're striving towards. So yeah, we've got a bit to go, but the nice thing is everybody can see the changes, certainly over the last 2 years with Greg being in place. So yeah, it's exciting.
Good. That's great. And yeah, also when I was over in 2023, I think it was very unique how you three, meaning Royal St. George's, Royal St. Port's, and Prince's, all collectively work together as a team, from the courses, from the visitor experience, and candidly the caddy program, if you go down to that. But this is kind of your opportunity, speak on to the Channel Coast. Why should someone come down to the area from the golfing and however direction you want to take that question?
I knew about the courses down here, and there's so many people that you speak to, educated people, and connoisseurs of golf. Oh, I've never played your golf course before. I've never played St. Port's. I've never played Princess. And why is that? Why are people not coming down? They are equally as good as any other linked venue, whether it's Proud Scotsman, but the courses in Scotland or Ireland, they're equally as good, and they're different in their own ways as much as they are literally back to back to back. You will have an incredible links experience, and right now you've got availability, which you don't have in Scotland and Ireland. I'd like to think in a number of years' time that we would be sold out, but it's about, we're not necessarily looking for quantity, we're just looking for quality, from both sides. Because we know that when your guests are coming along, we want them to be blown away with hospitality. I mean, the hospitality in this part of the world is equally as good as it is in Scotland and Ireland, but Kent, as in the county that we're in, they don't shout about it. Scotland, we shouted about it. We still do. We're proud of our nation, and we want people to come and experience it. Not the case down here. It's why? Don't know. English clubs traditionally haven't gone after an overseas market. Why? I don't know. When Scotland and Ireland have been doing it for 50 years, the product's here. I could understand it would be a difficult sell if the product wasn't good. Now, Prince's the 27 holes they have, stunning. And the work that Ali and Rob and their team are doing, and the investment that they're putting into their club, you've got everything in Princess alone. And as much as it's right beside us, it is different, slightly lower lying. Yeah, you will just have an incredible day there. St. Port's maybe is traditionally out and back, but fantastic condition, and again a good team that, this relationship's been going a lot longer than I've been here. It's always kind of been there, but they're really nice people, which is great fun to work with nice people, but they're passionate about their product, and it's we're all in it together, and I understand that St. George's is the bigger pool, but you'll have so much fun playing both or St. Port's, Princess, ourselves, or even just going a little bit further around, North Foreland, bit of fun up there, and they've got the best par 3 18-hole course that you could ask for. Go there for a fun day out. Kent has so much to offer, and the connectivity to London. We're an hour and a half to the middle of London on train from the Sandwich station straight into St Pancras. You've got London on your doorstep, so there's so much more you can do with a trip. That you might want to take in football, you might want to take in cricket, you might want to take in tennis, rugby. It might not just all be about golf, but if it's all about golf, you can have the most amazing links experience, and then combine that with the Heathland experience, which you don't get in the US, and really you don't get in Scotland. Blairgowrie, where I worked, it was Heathlandish and Gleneagles. Out with that, there's not a lot of Heathland golf. The Heathland golf in Surrey is off the charts how good it is. And again, I can't say why they haven't kind of gone to a kind of US market, but they are now, because they're understanding that there's a quality clientele that will actually come across and play. It's one flight. You can fly anywhere from the US into London, and then Addington. I don't know if you played the Addington, the work that they're doing there. I think Addington's fantastic. But like your 3Ws, Woking, Worpleston, Westhill, your Hankley Commons. I'm not mentioning Sunningdale or the Berkshire or the Swinley. Lord, Walton Heath. It's just, there's so much. St George's Hill, I'm missing a number out, but boy, you can lose yourself here for 3 weeks. So, but as much as we're working collaboratively with Robin, Ali, and James and Charles at St. Port. It's a London, it's a southeast. We have to encourage, and I'm pretty confident when people come, they will enjoy the experience. But we have to sell it. We have to let you know that we're geared up for our outside play and our temporary members, because we don't kind of have visitors. We have members for the day, and we ultimately want you to go away thinking that was the best golf day I've ever had. And we have our rules and we have our regulations, but there's nothing better than having a lovely game of golf and a nice lunch and great service and great wine, and because that's what our members do. That our members do that every day, and we would like our guests to do the same. But in this comment, just say, look, didn't like it. I'm pretty confident that you will like it, but we're lucky with our partners. We really are. And again, it's just the weather's pretty good. It's damn sight better than it is in Carnoustie and Nairn, I can give you that, at any time of the year.
Well, we obviously wholeheartedly agree that your part of the world deserves far more attention from the traveling golfer than it gets these days. But we do feel that is shifting a little bit, and for all of the reasons that you named off, the availability certainly doesn't hurt these days, and the ease of access to London and the fact that you're all working together. We've said it here on the podcast before, the rising tide lifts all boats, and hopefully that tide is going to continue lifting all of you as a whole. But one of the ways that you're helping to spread the word is a new initiative that's starting this year.
Yeah.
And it's tied to one of the coolest traditions in the game of golf, and that is the Hagen hoof. There is a great video out there that No Laying Up did a couple years ago. Go pull it up if you're listening, but we're talking straight to the source. So talk us through not only the history and the tradition of the Hagen hoof, but how it, is essentially being celebrated today.
Yeah. Well, that one with No Laying Up, that was 2 years ago, and I played it, and it was the worst weather. And we did 54 holes in her. Here's me bigging up the weather, and the weather it was horrendous. But the hoof has been going for a long time, but it's where the members of Princes, St. Ports, and St. George's play in a match, and they play all three courses in the one day, starting off at 6 o'clock in the morning at Princes, playing 18 holes, breakfast, then go to St. Ports, 18 holes, lunch, and then 18 holes at St. George's, and a dinner in the evening. Everybody's going to fall asleep in the evening, I have to admit, but I'm a bit tired. But it was actually James Lear at St. Ports. It was his idea that why don't we do it for our guests, what Hagen did. So Hagen didn't play, he played the three courses in the one day, but the routing that he played, so he would play the first 11 at St. Ports and then walk down the path to St. George's and play the 6th to the 13th, go through the fence, play 18 holes at Princess, come back through the fence, play 14 to 5 with us at St. George's, and then get back on it wouldn't even have been a bus in these days, it would have been a horse and cart, and take him to the 12th of St. Ports and then play his way in. And he just did it for the fun. That's exactly what he said. No scores, a great idea. We thought, well, this is in a way to showcase, not to play 3 rounds in one day, standardly, but it's a bit of fun, a bit like the solstice at Bandon. It's just a unique event, and it is a marketing tool to say, these are the 3 courses. Come for a fun day. It's going to be quirky, and it's just play with your mates. There's no scorecard. It's not a competition unless you want to play within have a game within your group. But it is just enjoy the 3 great courses in a completely different routing than you would ever do before, and then hopefully it would encourage people to spread the word of golf in Sandwich, Princes, St. Ports. These courses are absolutely worth coming to play. So that's what it's going to come about. So it's in July this year, and it's not for everyone, because if you're having to walk 54 holes, but there's grab and go kiosks, but it's very relaxed, it's very informal. It's some cool branding as well. It is just, as I said, it's to showcase the incredible golf. Because again, I remember attending my first year an Open Championship venue meeting, and the amount of people that would say to me, and these are people in the golf industry that are movers and shakers. I've never played. The only open venues we haven't played are the 3 here. So again, it's just for us, we need to get out. I mean, 3 years ago at the PGA show, my first attending for Royal St George's, many times for Carnoustie, the amount of people said, "Where are you?" I couldn't believe they were asking where we were, when everyone knew what Carnoustie was, everyone knew where Nairn was. And then last year it was, "Oh, well, we know where you are now, but we can't play you because you're private." And you're like, "Well, no, we're not private. We're semi-private. We have outside play." And then this year, there was a lot of people came up and said, "Oh, we're playing you next year." So there is a bit of momentum there, but we just need to we need to be on the front foot, and we definitely are. And the Hagen 54 is a massive part of it.
One follow-up on the Hagen 54 specific. So are you saying the routing is going to be the way Hagen played it?
So the hoops played in May with the clubs, and it's just the 1, 2, 3. You play 18 holes separately, but the 54 is exactly what Hagen did. Yeah, and we've got buses to pick you up at St Ports and drive you, so we've got it all laid up. But yeah, it's exactly how he did it.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, last year it was a lot of fun because the weather was absolutely stunning. But yeah, I've not done the routing. I've not played it as Hagen's done it. So yeah, it's well done to James, because I think it's a great idea. We'll be doing it every year, and nice time of the year. Third week, it's just after the Open Championship. If the weather's nice, you'll have a lot of fun.
Amazing. I think kind of going back to when I came over in 2023, we were, after golf, we were coat and tie and having late lunch or dinner, whichever one you want to call it, after our round. And I told you, I'm like, man, this is like, what an amazing visitor experience this was from golf and, coat and tie and post drinks and stuff. And I'm like, Colin, this is just like, just as good as Muirfield or other kind of visitor experience where you have the clubhouse and the golf experience. So I guess, can you shed some more light on what kind of expectations should be or would be for a visitor that maybe, plan that trip this year in 2025 or in the future?
Yeah, it's, within your green fee for next year, your dining room experience is all included, because we feel it's such an integral part of the club experience. You're going into, these rooms that are just, from 1887, just, dripping with nostalgia. And we have a smoking room that you don't smoke in. We have a writing room that not a lot of writing's done in. And then obviously the dining room that we do a lot of dining in. Some people don't want to put a jacket and tie on, but it's special. Who doesn't like to dress up? Everybody wants to dress up. Have a nice game, then shower and change, and then come in and stay as long as you like. I mean, our chef, what we standardly have is a carvery. So you just, you saw it, Connor, that when you come through, you can help yourself to all these lovely meats, and there are vegetarian options. We don't have a lot of vegetarians that play at Royal St George's, I have to admit. They do like the meats and the fish and so on and so forth. But somebody would ask, "Can I have this?" And our chef says, "Have whatever you want. Have it all." And it is just, just enjoy every part. So there's all our desserts, have every dessert. We don't say no. Just we standardly, because that's what happens every day. What we're putting on is not what we just put on for 1 day of the week or 2 days of the week. It's 7 days of the week. You come down today and the dining room is full. And the weekend it was full. Now we've just finished our 15-month of a redevelopment project of new offices, new kitchens, and mechanical and electrical work within the clubhouse. But it's so nice to be back in the clubhouse, because people have genuinely missed it. And it's understated elegance is what we are trying to deliver. And we're not trying to change the world in any shape or form. We're just trying to keep the traditions, the ethos, and it's very important to keep to that. And you don't need your mobile phone. We suggest that you just leave it in the car. Just come here and just enjoy a day with your friends and just talk golf, and just have some lovely food and some lovely wine, and what's there not to like.
That's great. And kind of back to the visitor experience there. What days of the week can visitors play? If you can kind of shed some light on that, if people are curious for planning.
Yeah, so obviously we're a 2-ball golf club, and foursomes, great fun, play quickly. But for our temporary members, we've now moved that to Tuesday and Wednesday, where it's just one ball. Trying to explain to someone what even four-ball golf's about. It gets a bit confusing, but ultimately on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, our temporary members can come down and just, play their own ball. That's in April to October. In the winter, we do Tuesdays only. But even, and I know your guests are not coming across in the winter, but because the weather is better down here, our domestic market come down and play us. But it's and as well as that, we'll help with accommodation in the village, and also we'll help you with playing the other two courses as well. So because the relationship is there, if you want us to book times at Princes and Sing Course, and I know you're doing this for a living, but we can. That's what we do. We just phone them up and say, we've got some guests coming. Can you? It's very straightforward. And that's how it's just working with the right people. That it's all about an experience. You don't want any hassle. When you're trying to book times at other places that are full all the time. Maybe in years to come that we will be, but I would like to be. But it still goes back to the same thing, that we're not doing our job right unless we provide you with the quality of an experience. So when you arrive, we have meter greeters, just to make sure that your day is, you don't have to think. That's basically what we're trying to get you to do. The most amazing range facility. Everything is there, but there really is nothing. There's nothing that we're missing. There's nothing out there. I say condition is good. I'm looking for utopia, but that's fine. That's what my role is. But ultimately, there's nothing there saying that, we're kind of missing that when everybody else is doing it. We're doing everything and more, but we just want people to come and sample it and then critique it. Then to say, well, you know what, that wasn't as good as you think it is. And that's fine. We want feedback, but I'm pretty confident that they'll enjoy it.
Well, Colin, this has been absolutely great, and you've been very generous with your time. But obviously, before we go, we have the more or less the last question is, this is Golf in the Good Life, which means that the experience that you've talked so much about extends beyond the gates and to the general area. And for those temporary members headed your way, as a local, any favorite pubs or restaurants or spots nearby that they need to hit while they're in the area?
Yes, yeah. The most beautiful, I call it a village because there's 6,000 people that live in the village at Sandwich. It's medieval. It's you're going back to the 1400s. You got pubs from the 1400s. So you've got the Crispin. You want to go for a nice beer, local brew. It's gorgeous. It's so nice. There is a fun Italian Luigi's in the town that a lot of our members go to. But there's a number of really nice restaurants. You've got Up Down Farm, you've got the Blue Pigeon. So down in the south, we didn't really have it as much in Scotland. The pubs are not just about for having a drink. There's for eating as well. And you've got the Pig at Bridge, and you've got quality venues where you get great food and great beer. But the best pub in the town, I would probably say the Crispin. It's got a charm and because it goes back to I think it's 1492. And it's right on the quay, right beside the river, and it's beautiful. It's fun, and again, you can walk from the club into town, and that's a nice way to kind of after your game of golf and after a big lunch, because we don't really open in the evening. We don't do unless we're doing a dinner for a members match. We're not a club that does it's not a restaurant. So go and enjoy the town, and these are definitely places I would. But I do frequent, and I would recommend everybody else to do likewise.
Can attest. The Crispin's great. I was down there. I think after I played Royal St. Ports, I went in before I played Royal St. George's. So it's great spot. So, well, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for spending it with us and getting us to learn a little even more about the area and your club specifically, and about you and your story. And thanks again for your time, and looking forward to chatting more and seeing you in person too again, Colin.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for your time.
And a special thanks once again to Colin Sinclair for joining us today. As always, we will include some additional resources in the show notes. If you have any questions about Royal St. George's or golf travel in general, DM us on social media or email us golf@haversham.com. And be sure to give Royal St. George's, Princes, and Royal Cinque Ports a follow on Instagram while you're at it. Thanks as always for tuning in. We'll be back again soon with another episode. But until then, we wish you plenty of golf at its finest, and life at its best.